Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest installment of Dual. I'm Trey.
And I'm Jordan.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
Might
nice
be.
to...
I apologize if I'm a little low energy.
Oh, so
It's like-
same here. I am
Monday.
beyond gassed.
Yeah, no, it's Monday.
It's Monday.
It's
so
Monday,
fucking...
and I went through a bunch of feels over the weekend, kind of thing.
Mhm.
But yeah. So that's why it's like I'm kind of like
Fucking feel you, man.
low, a little low, but I mean still kicking.
Yeah, I fucking feel you, dude. I'm in a very similar boat
Yeah.
where I'm just gassed, and it's not even like sleep can fix this kind of gas. It's like
You're just physically just like
exhausted.
output.
Yeah, seriously, because I'm trying to figure out this new radio station thing that we're trying to do, and I think that the main exhaustion that I'm personally feeling is from like lack of money and like that stress on top of everything else.
Sure.
Not the best, but
Right.
yeah, it is what it is, and
Yeah.
we'll eventually make bread. But
Yeah,
like,
no,
I'm
for
just
sure.
like,
Yeah, it's
fucking
just-
now sucks.
Yeah.
Can barely pay my bills. It's like ridiculous. Paychecks don't hit hard enough. They need to hit harder.
They need to start hitting
Yeah,
harder.
that's what I'm saying, man.
So we need that sponsorship.
Yeah, if anybody wants to sponsor us,
Please.
we may start a Patreon and we'll do something with that.
Listen. If we get like a set amount, if we start seeing some decent numbers,
We may start a Patreon.
We
We may
will-
start an OnlyFans.
we will drop that OnlyFans.
We will drop that OnlyFans
We will
link.
drop that OnlyFans, dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like it's rough out here.
I know. Oh, and we have to say thank you to Workspace Manchester.
Yeah, thank you, Workspace Manchester, as
Yeah.
always, for giving us the space,
Yeah, seriously.
allowing us the space to
do our thing, man.
do our thing.
But yeah. So yeah, if we get enough subscribers, we may actually end up dropping an OnlyFans, and which is just us, sleeping or something like that. Something very intimate but not sexual.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be a really interesting art project.
It's kind of like what ASMR
Mm-hmm.
thing is, where it's just like people make the association that ASMR is like
It's
sexual,
just
but
becoming
it's like,
sexual though, man.
but it's like that's not like the intention. Like the intention is
At
more
least
just
the
like
initial intention.
it's not sexual as much as it is sensual,
Sure.
where it's just
It's getting a little bit more personal and close.
yeah, it's more intimate. It's more just like it's not like overt like sexual
Yeah.
like stuff. It's
yeah.
just it's sensual. Like it engages like the like you're whispering into a mic, or it's like you're doing these little sound things that kind of like tickle your senses a little
I
bit.
got you.
So I think that's the but people immediately jump to like
Well, because it
is kind of weird,
it
but
feels
like yeah.
strange to some extent. I like it personally. My personal ASMRs are haircut videos, specifically scissors, and chiropractor videos. That shit knocks me the
Yeah.
fuck out. I literally just throw on. I have to shout out for Dr. Brenda Mondragon because I'll just like literally.
Oh
be
yeah,
sleeping.
I watch her stuff too. Yeah.
She's fucking good.
She's really
I'll
good.
fucking just be sleeping in the bed. I'll put the phone up on the side, and like literally within like 5 minutes, I'm out. Literally within like 5 minutes, I'm just like knocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually have an idea for an art project.
What you got?
People sleeping. Edward Cullen in the corner.
You just record people sleeping?
No, but like, okay, so we were talking
Yeah,
about
what
like,
you
because it just ideas, but like,
Yeah.
I want to go on like this extreme diverted tangent, but maybe we'll bring somewhere. Who knows? We spend however many hours, 8 hours if we're fucking lucky, sleeping a night, right?
Mhm.
It would be interesting to set up a live stream, not a live stream, a camera, just in the top room corner, like a fly on the wall type shit, and just record you sleeping. You specifically. No, I'm just kidding.
Isn't that like but don't like streamers do that on Twitch?
Do they actually?
Yeah, they're like sleep streams or whatever.
Dude,
I
people
don't know.
stream fucking anything.
Dude, it's like literally if you go on
This is
there,
like half a joke.
it's like
damn.
no, it's like literally they just live stream them sleeping.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's almost like
It's
we're
weird.
fiending for like this intimacy with other people through a screen to some extent.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the YouTube content or the content that really gets picked up more is the one that's more personal. Like a personal.
Well, that's why
journal,
like
vlogs
mukbangs
and
are
stuff.
so popular is because
Because it feels like you're eating with
because
like
you're
people.
with exactly,
Yeah.
and that's like part of I believe it's a Korean
I think it's Korean.
tradition.
I think it's
yeah,
Korean.
where it's just like
It's like
that's like part of yeah. Like that's where the name mukbang or mukbang, however you say it,
Yep.
comes from.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like it's part of like a tradition there.
Yeah.
And of course, us Americans, we take and we butcher it,
Yeah.
but without fully understanding the cultural context.
Totally.
But yeah, but like that's why that's so popular because it's like it's almost. I mean, even though I find that it's kind of disgusting.
I'm a
like,
little bit. Yeah,
I find it kind of gross,
it.
but it's like I get
Like,
I
you're
get
just
the
going at
appeal.
it.
I get the appeal behind it.
Yeah.
Where it's just like it's like you feel like
I
you're
feel like
sitting at a table and it's like you're enjoying a meal with somebody.
literally, I feel like that's really what we're kind of missing, or
But it's like,
something that
are
we're
we
feeding
really
for.
starved for that though?
Well, I mean, think about
That
it, man.
badly?
Think about it, because we have to have like these even in this to some extent. I hope to be as real as I can with you to most extents,
Yeah.
but like even within this, like we're putting on some sort of a persona, or like
Yeah.
well let's not put it at this level, but like let's put it.
No,
at,
we are.
like,
I think
Yeah.
when that's kind of a personal theory. Theory with me. It's just like anytime you put a camera in front of somebody, it's like there's that sort of like, you do kind of play it up to an extent.
a face or
and
something.
I would hope that
goes on.
like us doing this, like we're being as authentic as we can.
I really hope to be.
But at the same time, it's like it's also a persona to a certain degree, because the image I put out and the image you put out online, there can be some differences between, or some disparities between
who we really are
in real life. Yeah, so it's like, even though I believe we're being authentic with the Dual series, I'm sure it's like,
well,
I mean, people were not getting the whole story.
No, of course not.
Especially like if I'm going off on something, or if I'm talking about like shit that's going on with me. It's like,
we
it's not
usually
full
like try to like
context.
Yeah, the context is the biggest thing that I think that we try to swerve around. But like, excuse me, I think a really big thing is like, the persona that we put on, the face that we put on to show other people online, essentially at this point in time, almost damn near catfishing people to some extent. But like, and I feel like in effect, it's almost like a stand ability. And I want to use the thing from JoJo's.
Is this a JoJo's reference?
Yeah, it's kind of a JoJo's reference.
Nice.
Imagine if like the stand ability took something from you, and you could be like this powerful entity. You could be this. I always use Casey Neistat, but you could use this Casey Neistat, but really you're just Casey Neistat. Let me try to explain that a little bit more. Let me try to go into that a little bit deeper. It's almost like, imagine yourself is split up into like an onion slices. Like there's like layers and shit.
Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek, exactly. Shrek is a really nice guy, but people see him as an ogre, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So
anyway, you're kind of cut into like these bread loaf slices, these onion slices.
Yeah.
The more energy you put into the front end of the slices, how people perceive you, the less energy you're gonna have to actually like be yourself. I feel like as the common phrase goes, there always has to be a balance.
Yeah.
Always has to be a balance, and I really do feel like the more that we put out of ourselves, the less that we actually get to accept ourselves more.
Yeah.
For who we are, because I feel like to some extent, and we may have covered this in a previous episode, but a person I strive to be and a person I hope to be becoming is a person who truly just rocks with themselves.
Yeah.
A person who is really whole and at home with themselves, and not just putting on a face. We definitely had to talk about this, at least in our personal conversation.
To a certain degree.
Yeah, but like a person who wholly rocks with themselves, wholly is at home with themselves, and doesn't need to have the appeal of another person to validate that. I think the thing we were talking about was validation.
Yeah.
Accept me, please, love me, please, type thing.
Yeah, no, it's just like. No, it's just, I feel what you're saying, but it's just like, God, that was me this past weekend.
Really?
Where it's just like, I think I've had like personal check-ins with some people.
Sure, yeah.
Just because like I've been kind of like, I've been very, or it may not seem like it to most people, I would imagine, but it's like I've been feeling very erratic, like just emotionally, just these last couple days, and it's chalked up to a bunch of different stuff, but I think the main thing I was feeling, and also it's just like an ongoing, like, conflict that I'm having with myself in recent times, is just like I am truly having a hard time, or at least I feel like I'm having a really hard time connecting with people.
Feel you.
Like specifically people like our age.
Okay.
I feel like I don't know what it is. I feel like I can't. I yearn for like that sort of like, kind of like what we're doing right now, where it's like we're connecting. And even though it's like we have a camera in front of our face, like I don't care, because like
this is more of a journal, if anything.
Basically, yeah. But it's like, but aside from the camera, it's like we still talk like this, and it's just like, and I appreciate having you. I truly, truly, truly honor our friendship and love our friendship, because I feel like I can talk to you about stuff, like deep stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And I feel like I don't have that with like a whole lot of people. And that also kind of goes into like relationships and like why like dating and shit like that has been such a
troublesome
fucking problem for me, is because like I'm immediately just like, if I don't connect with you, then it's like, what's the point?
Well, I mean, I feel the same way personally as well.
Yeah.
Well, at least when it comes to relationships, and I do value our friendship as well. I like how I can have these conversations with you. You're one of the people who I actually can have these conversations with.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you just kind of get it.
Right.
Not that everybody else doesn't, but like different levels.
And not even that they have to. It's just like to have that, just to have somebody just kind of just listen.
Yeah, dude.
Listen and just be like, just be like, I hear you and I see you.
Yeah, literally. It doesn't even have to be like. One of the biggest things that I'm trying to focus on is not giving advice, not trying to just put a Band-Aid over the wound. Just kind of like let it be.
If you need to vent, just vent. Like,
literally,
I'm here.
dude,
like, it's all good.
I can be a vessel for 20 seconds. Like, it's
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But what was I saying?
Oh, spoilers! It's gonna be another sad one.
Yeah, no, dude. And then we usually flip it.
Just to let you guys know, just like I've been, like I said, just been feeling some type of way.
We're both exhausted and fucking emotionally drained.
Yeah.
We're talking about relationships. Oh, I feel like to some extent, man, I'm kind of searching for that needle in a haystack.
Yes.
Which fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. Or I'll call it a rose petal in a haystack, because I wouldn't view my future partner as like a needle, but like. Anyway, I don't know, for me personally, but
I get it.
Yeah, but I do feel like the search is kind of worth the salt that you put into it, man. I don't think that I don't think as, and this is gonna sound really hubris or something like that, or hyperbolic or whatever, but like as deep of people as we are, emotionally, existentially, etc., as deep as we do go, I don't necessarily think that some I'm trying to come up with a Joe Blow, but for females.
Jane Doe.
A Jane Doe.
That's
Jane
like
Doe.
usual.
Yeah, literally. A Jane Doe is just gonna pop up and, well, hopefully, but a Jane Doe is just gonna walk on the street and be like, yeah, I rock with you and you're really cool and I can get with you on those levels. Like,
it's like
tears of and this sounds really weird, but like it's like tears of like emotional intelligence when it comes to people.
Yeah.
We're on like the lower ones, or we'll call it the higher ones.
Yeah.
Or
I'm always reminded of like that line that Childish Gambino said in a song once, where it was just like, we sent people to the moon, but we only know each other. We only know the two of us by heart, or something like that.
Sure.
And it's like that. That's kind of like a microcosm of like what the fuck I've been feeling lately. Where it's just like, and it goes back to like the whole concept of the internet, or social media, where it's just like we're so connected yet so fucking
far apart,
distant at the same time.
It's crazy.
And even to the point where it's just like I have conversations with people, and it's like, I feel that distance.
Yep.
Even if we're face to face, it's like
I
feel like everyone's like agitated, everyone's like just depressed,
fucking edge.
Everyone's on edge, and believe me, I get it. Like, we're living on the same planet. I know what's going on.
Yeah, dude.
But for God's sakes, it's like I don't know. It's just like I
It's insanely tough, man.
It's tough, yeah.
It's insanely tough.
I don't even know where I'm going with this, but it's just like I just need to get out.
I know, totally. Let me try to piggyback that shit. I do feel like as the closer we've gotten connected, the less we actually have gotten connected. But think about it in this way. Think about it, and the closer we've gotten connected digitally with something that's not necessarily organic, we'll call it not organic, but like human, the less we've kind of become connected with our own human selves and with the human world around us, if that makes sense. The persona the persona that we put on online is not necessarally us. It's not the whole form of us.
It's not the full story.
Exactly. I'm not this crazy spaz.
And that's not even I don't view that as a bad thing, because I think we're. Yeah. I mean, I think like we all perform, in life to a degree, but that also goes into like the social dynamics and theories and stuff like that. Yeah. But anyway, but I don't inherently look at that as a bad thing. I just like it's always frustrating for me when it's like whenever like there's a serious topic and people feel the need to meme about it.
Yeah.
Like, we're like not online. Like, online is whatever. You can do whatever you want online.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about that. I'm talking about like in real life, where it's just like anytime like something comes, and I don't even think I'm explaining right, but I'm gonna try.
Do you have a general example? Say homie gets shot. Or
No,
homie dies.
no, we're not going that far.
That's fair.
I think just more just existential shit where it's just like, or
Sure.
philosophical stuff.
Go for it.
Where it's just like, I love talking that stuff. I love, like, unironically, I love speaking on that because I realize this about myself where it's just like, I think about things very deeply and I care about things very deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to apologize for that because that's just who I am. Like, I'm always, like, mental energy just going 100% all the time.
Totally.
And I don't, but I like that because, like, I'm constantly thinking about stuff.
Yeah.
And it comes
very artist mindset.
And it shows, yeah, sure, yeah.
If you want to call it that, but
no, I do, just because like it just piggyback off like the artist stereotype or whatever. No, but it's like I understand, but it's like on one level I understand that like not everyone thinks that way, especially like average people our age that
Jane Does and Joe Blows.
Jane Does and Joe Padoes.
Not Joe Padoes. That's like Joe Padilla.
No, it's just Joe Padilla.
Joe Padilla. Okay.
Joe Pado.
Okay, gotcha.
Pado. Anyway.
The evil Joe Padilla.
Exactly.
The anti-Joe Padilla.
The anti-Joe.
Yeah.
Anyway, completely aside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I understand that like I obviously understand like not everyone thinks the same way that I do.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where like the frustration and the loneliness comes in, where I'm just like, fuck, I don't know.
You feel like a man on an island.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I could totally resonate with that.
But it's just like, damn, I wish I was connecting with people more. I don't know. It's just that's the only other way I can describe it. It's just that I feel like I'm losing connection or losing touch with like people in just a general sense. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Okay, this is a weird reference.
Go for it.
Not to inflate your ego at all, but like, have you ever watched Regular Show? I know you're good. Have you ever watched Regular Show?
No.
Okay.
No, I never watched.
Anyway,
sorry.
I'm not gonna explain this because like the meme that Joe sent me last week, I was listening to the episode back and I was like, that didn't travel well, but essentially, brain evolving fast. Brain evolving to different levels, different aspects, and therefore...
Brain moving away from monkey.
Brain moving away from monkey.
To reference back to last week.
Brain moving away from monkey.
Moving from monkey.
Yep.
Yes.
You're kind of reaching a point where not a whole lot of people are going to be in your general, we'll call it brainwave, or your radar, or your fucking, like... Mm-hmm. And I'm feeling the same way, too, doctor. Like, it's very hard to have a connection to shit down here, and also shit up here, if that kind of makes any sense. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of finding yourself being like Stretch Armstrong in the middle doing like this.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give you I'm not trying to give advice or anything like that, but like the hardest thing to do is try to exist in both worlds. It's double work. It's double the work when you could just be like, you could just, metaphorically fucking drug your pains away and just, or do whatever your pains away and just fucking exist in this sphere.
Yeah.
Or you
and
can
also just like
really go for it.
No, sorry,
go. Or you could really seek the quote unquote, and this is a heavy bath assault on this one, the enlightenment.
Yeah.
And kind of just be alone.
Yeah.
But no one wants that, man. Mm-hmm. And it's the constant human struggle that we always happen to see where we feel isolated.
Yeah, it's like
in society.
Yeah, it's like there's a duality with that and
nice reference. Nice reference. Yeah.
Not to
but
But on a more serious note,
yeah,
that also, for me anyway, it really, and this is also shit I've been thinking about heavy lately, where it's just like, it really speaks on the duality of being a black person or being a POC in America.
Yeah, right there, man.
Because, like, yeah, I feel like I have to put on, and like, W.E.B. Du Bois.
Oh, sorry.
I believe I'm saying his name right. Spoke on that.
Sure, go for
or
it.
Or wrote on that, where it's just like being a black man in America, or being a black person in America, you're playing up. You have this conflict of like two different identities.
Literally, man.
Where it's just like how white America or just America perceives you,
yeah.
And then versus
off
that
the cuff, by the way,
off the cuff immediately, versus, and also the expectations and the stereotypes and all the other bullshit that comes with it, and also just like the conflict of how you perceive yourself in these spaces, in these white spaces, in just by yourself. And that was also something that I was speaking on before with somebody, where it's just like, I've been feeling that heavy too, where it's just like, I feel very disconnected from, I guess, just like this this is gonna sound weird, from my blackness.
Yep. No, same.
And feeling very disconnected from that, and also being in these white spaces.
Yep.
And it's just like, what?
Where am I?
Yeah.
Where do I fit?
Where do I fit in this? What am I doing? Like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck is going on? It's just like, so that's also the thing, and it's also just like something that I wish I can speak to people about, but it's like either people are gonna look at me like I'm an alien and be like, what are you on about? Or it's like people understand what I'm going through, or they get it, but then it's just like,
well, then what do we do then?
Where do we go from here? Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
no, dude. My cousin asked me something a very long time ago. This had to be years ago.
Yeah.
About like, where do you kind of see yourself? You know, you were raised in a white town, went to a white high school. Yeah. You're a black dude. You are typically the token black friend. Yeah. Like, it's some shit.
It's some shit.
And
man.
the only thing that I had to say to her was just like, well, I don't need to fit in, and this is gonna sound really generic, but it's what's kind of saved me a little bit. I don't need to fit in with token white America. I don't need to fit in with token black America. I don't need to fit in with anybody. Yeah. But the only place I need to fit in is my spot, which is right here. You know? And it is isolating. Yeah. It's very hard.
Because, and it's like, and it's like, it was kind of a trip for me because, like, that was, like, my same experience growing up kind of thing. And I thought I made peace with it, or I thought, like, I found resolution with that, but it was something that it really came up recently, and not because it was triggered by anything or like something happened. It was just like something that just came up in my head, and I just been like really focused on lately. And it's like, I know this, like I understand this, like I've been living through it, and I'm living through it right now.
Literally.
So it's like, why is this coming up, or why is this such a main focus in my peripheral right now, or like in my mental
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that you have to think about. I often
something I've been thinking about.
No, but literally, but like something that you have to kind of ponder. Like I often feel like when I usually get like a random thought, like let's say like text Mike or something like that, it usually is for a reason. We're all more connected than we ever know or can ever really perceive, but we can at least acknowledge.
Yeah.
And I feel like the universe or whoever, a God or whatever the fuck, is trying to talk to you for a second and be like, hey, maybe some big shit is coming up. And you're going to be fucking in this space, and you're going to have these feelings, so I'm kind of giving you a precursor to what you may be feeling, so you can at least, if you are approached on it, like in this kind of scenario that we're having right now, you can speak on it.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily do some research, get your answer. It's like, no, it's like, think about it, marinate with it.
Yeah. Because
I often feel the same as I just cut my head off from this. I'm going to speak like this, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to speak like this.
That's cool. Yeah.
No, I'm fine. But, real shit. Like, I find it very odd to kind of be a man on an island.
Yeah.
And the only way to kind of survive as a man on an island is to create a Wilson, if that kind of makes sense.
God. I don't know. Dude, I don't.
No, you're good.
I don't know if I want to go down that path.
That's what helped me. No, that's what helped me.
Yeah.
You can find your own way. If anything, you get more at peace with the island itself.
Yeah.
You build
or at the very least, I don't want to call him Wilson because that's my dad's name.
Oh, damn.
We're not going to go down that
Damn,
path.
son.
Yeah.
Did not know.
You're good. You're totally good. Yeah.
But anyway, you build a puppet to talk to. That's what helped me a little bit. But the biggest thing for you is I feel like with you, your energy, your vibe, however you want to do it, I feel like you need to take a little bit of time to sit on the island, to kind of collect yourself a little bit on that island.
Yeah.
And then slowly build your stake, your claim on the island, if that kind of makes sense. Slowly kind of build out the island. Yeah. You can cut down all the trees, you can do whatever you want. Like, let me swallow my spit for a second. But like, I feel like you may indeed feel isolated. Yes, we all feel isolated to some extent, but you're really going through it. I once felt isolated. I still feel isolated to some extent. I definitely feel at least the need of a person who deeply understands me.
Yeah.
And doesn't like encroach on boundaries and stuff like
that.
Right?
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah. Not like
good fucking
nothing. Nothing like.
And this is more for like
obscene
a romantic
or that's what. Yeah. That's
this
what.
This is more for like a romantic.
That's what I was getting at. Where it's just like I don't.
Like it'd be cool to have a person next to you on the island.
Right. Yeah.
But like,
I was trying to figure out a way to phrase it where it's like it doesn't come across like, oh, I need. It's like no, not really. But it's like it would
just be nice.
I just need.
What you got?
I don't know. I'm trying to. Because the thing about it's like needs and then wants. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you differentiate between the two?
You can have both.
But I'm gonna just.
Yeah, the por qué no los dos? You can have
Yeah,
both.
exactly.
Yeah.
Fuck, where the hell was I going?
You could need a romantic partner, but you could also want a romantic
Right,
partner.
yeah,
You could also
exactly.
just be by yourself. You could rock
Yeah.
with your own rhythm. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just think
yeah.
like companionship was something that was coming up heavy lately, and it's just like, and it's like, fuck, I was rocking pretty good for a while, and then all of a sudden, like, I got smacked in the face with that, and then I'm just like, and I get it, because like obviously, like, you know, human beings, we need to be together. It's like, I understand that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, but I think for me, it's just like, I may have kind of like screwed myself in a sense where it's just, I've been kind of riding solo for a while, where it's just like, damn, how the hell do I
even encroach, etc.
Yeah, or how do I dip my toes back in, or if I even want to attempt for like the fifth time.
I fucking feel you. I was talking with a person, and they were like, you know, I was this playboy, I was doing this, I was doing that, I was slinging mad dick and getting receipts on that pussy.
Oh, God damn.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
but then he said he's getting married like soon, and I was like, okay,
good for him.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so you were slinging mad dick and getting receipts on the pussy. What changed? He said, I found the right person. I think that I think that a big thing is, you're 26, I'm 25, you're about to be 27, I'm about to be 26. Like, literally, I think my half birthday was April 1st. So, like, I'm now closer to 26 than I am to 25. I'm now closer to my late 20s than I am to my early 20s.
Yeah.
Crazy fact.
Mm-hmm.
Lord willing, I say if D, G, or C, if death, God, or cigarettes does not take me out.
Yeah.
We're going to be around for a grip, man.
Yeah.
And I think that a side effect of...
I feel like the age thing might be kind of also a component too, because like I'm encroaching. Come October, I'll be encroaching
late
30.
But
27 and then 28, 29, 30. So it's like I'm getting there. So
I know,
yeah.
but you got to think outside the box on this one, man.
Yeah.
And this is what's at least helping me a little bit.
Yeah.
Me realizing just how much fucking cosmic time I have on this piece.
Yeah.
And how Alan Rickman, I think it was Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Professor Snape didn't become a Grammy whoever actor, a recognized actor until he was 40.
Right.
Now those are two separate points, but I
What was
think
the first one?
how I have a lot of time on this rock.
Yeah.
And how Snape didn't become a recognized actor until he was 40. The two separate points, but they do coalesce in some way.
No, I'm still following. I just don't remember what the first one was.
No, you're good.
Go for it.
So basically, like, I have a while here. We have a while here, hopefully. I think that everything will be due in due time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like, personally, I'm searching for, Joe calls it an anima or something like that. You know,
what?
A figment of my imagination where I put all of my love and affection towards a female partner, hoping to one day manifest her back into existence type beat. That's a deeper thing, and we can get into that maybe next week. But anyway, essentially putting all my romantic feelings into like this like, not empty shell in a bad way, but like into like this box, a present perhaps, and hoping to one day deliver to a specific person.
Yeah.
But my favorite book, The Alchemist, has a line that says, there's a lot of lines in it, but I'm going to paraphrase, and it might not even be in the book, but it's inspired by the book.
Yeah, go for it.
Everything in due time, and everything is written in the same hand. Everything that is written with both yours and God's hand. And then the last one, I believe, is if you inspire. What I'm trying to say is, we have a long time, man.
Yeah.
We have a long time. And whoever we're meant to be with, even if it's person, it doesn't really matter, will always bring us to where we need to be. Always bring us to who we need to meet in order to go to the next level, or to take a step back and assess ourselves and stuff like that. And I'm not necessarily sure that there's one person for everyone. I would love to believe that I have a person out there who's kind of cool and just like, I'll see you in like 30 years, but it's going to be The Rock in a 60 afterwards. And that's kind of the beat that I'm trying to get more into my cosmic rhythm or my mind. You know, where I'm like, I'm 25. I've lived on this earth for a quarter century. Like, I have a lot of time. I have a lot of grip on like who I am, and I still have to become who I am. I have to form myself into that same present that I would give a person. Because if I'm all jumbled up right now, if I'm not really feeling myself, if I'm stressed and overworked and broke and all this shit, by the way, we need a sponsorship.
Please.
And that was a good rhyme, too.
Yeah.
Then who am I to give myself to a person that would be so worthy
Yeah,
to that would be so worthy that would complete me.
Yeah.
You know, to some extent.
No, and like I totally rock with that. And I'm on the same boat too.
Yeah.
I think for me it was more just like I just had to put that out there.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, I just had to put that out there just because like
I
think people have very or maybe not. I was gonna say like I think people have very like
skewed vision of
no, not skewed vision. I was trying to find the wording and I can't. Or perception of me.
Sure.
Of that I kind of have everything put together.
He's a successful
and I
artist.
don't.
He does this.
Like I don't.
Nobody fucking does, man.
Yeah.
It's a face that we put on.
Yeah, it's for sure.
You know, while on the inside we're fucking breaking down like fucking b-boys and like it's not the best, but
yeah.
we have to appear to be put together to enact in society when sometimes like today I just want to take a fucking nap, but I have to do a million and two things. Not that I wouldn't want it because I needed this more than anything. I needed this.
Yeah.
And I probably need my therapy session afterwards.
Sure.
But yeah, man, it's finding a person who you can be comfortably yourself with, or at least put as many walls as you wish down.
It's finding that person
that
you would defend and even slap another man for.
That's what I'm saying. What are we rocking right now? Turn on my glasses. We can end it on the Will Smith.
We're rocking at 30.
Okay, we can go 30 to 15 more.
So perfect segue.
Perfect segue. That was a really deep intellectual. We're just gonna go into memes.
We're just gonna go into fucking bullshit now.
Literally.
But I feel like because because it's such a big thing, like I feel like we have to talk about it.
Well,
and also because like I feel like
well, this isn't a reality show. This is our personal journal.
True.
Like, but if you want to go into it, I would like to, because I have some opinions as well.
I have some opinions, but I also feel like it does kind of relate back to
go for it.
Because my stance on it has changed a little bit.
Really?
A little bit.
No, say your previous stance beforehand, because I don't think we recorded the actual.
No. So my previous stance, and then we're talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Because you can't get enough of that.
I know, seriously.
Everyone's talking about it. Anyway,
yeah,
but I feel like because I had a certain stance on it, and then now that stance has changed, just given sort of like what I've been going through.
Sure.
And I'm just like, maybe there's something to it. Where my original stance, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. It was more just like, my stance was like, I didn't understand why people were bringing in all these different, like, social issues, race issues into like the fucking in my previous
I was like, ever do that?
No, yeah, like if you were like Twitter was popping, Instagram was popping, like Facebook, all this stuff. People had so many opinions and so many like different narratives and takes on this situation. A lot of it stemming from like Chris Rock belittling Jada Pinkett Smith and like black women, and somehow the joke come out denouncing stuff like that.
Sure.
And I was like, Will Smith and whatever. But and my thing was like, why is it always that? How come it can't just be? From what I saw, it was just guy or person gets loses their composure over something another person said about their spouse. He gets up, smacks him up a little bit, goes back down. That's it. Like and people have asserted like hood politics or like street code, which I'm not inherently denying that, and I'm also not like because people have also said like, well, how come Chris didn't press charges, or like there should have been consequences, blah blah blah. And I was just like, there's a certain code that guys, I'm generally gonna say guys follow, where it's just like, and that was one of them, where it's just like and I hate to say like talk shit get hit, even though my philosophy is not built around that. I can understand why I get people live by that, and I'm not even like totally disagreeing with that.
Totally fair. It's a valid point.
It's valid. Hey, if it's valid to you, that's fine. And it's like again, like that goes into like street code, hood politics, blah blah blah. And because and I was just like, but then my stance on it has changed a little bit because kind of like looking at the aftermath, specifically on Will's end, where it's just like, homie is going through it.
Tell me about it. I am completely out of that spectrum.
Well,
I saw the video and saw him getting hit like a rag doll, and that was it. saw the two things.
Yeah, no, it was like I didn't watch the Oscars when it live when it happened. I only saw I saw the clip of him smacking Chris.
Yeah.
And I was just like, immediately I was just like, oh, that shit's fake because
it looked
the initial slap, it looks fake, where it's just like, oh, there's just a ratings boost because the Oscars have been tanking for years. But then I watched the uncensored version.
Yeah.
Where he gets back down, and then Chris was trying to say that. And by the way, this might be a bit of a hot take, but I don't even think Chris was necessarily wrong either.
Really?
Like,
I'm just being like,
as far as go for it. Go for it. It's just like, and I'm sure it's like we can debate it or whatever, but it's just like, this is just my personal thing. It's not gospel, but like, I don't even think Chris was inherently in the wrong either, just because like he's a comedian. That's what he does. And it's like, I can understand like because the whole comedy subjective. There we go. Sorry, it took me a minute.
Gotcha.
Comedy's subjective, and I get that like not every joke is gonna land, and everyone's not gonna find it very funny.
Yeah.
I totally get that, and I don't even fault Jada for giving Chris the evil eye for saying that, because she does have a medical condition, and it's not something you should joke about.
Not really.
But at the same time, it's like he's a comedian. He does what he does. He's, I don't know. It's just like, to me, that's a bit of a. I will always defend comedy as a form of art,
free speech type shit,
or not even just free speech, but just like an art form, because it is. It takes art and it takes a craft to be able to turn a phrase and be able to say something with like a or even just like edgy jokes or whatever. Just if it's done correctly, have that like little wink and a nod.
Essentially, yeah.
So I don't necessarily, but like I said, going back to the point, Chris was explaining as a G.I. Jane reference.
Yeah.
And then Will completely just goes off rip and just be like, just famously screams out, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." And when I saw that, and I was just like, okay, I think this might be real, because I don't know if you can fake or act anger like that.
No, not really.
And then, afterwards, he wins an Oscar.
Yeah.
And then in his speech, this dude is crying because he's like, I'm so sorry for that. For what I just did.
I didn't see that version.
No, it's like
That's the fucking shit. I didn't see that.
This dude,
I didn't see that. I only saw the slap.
And then like a couple days after that, he resigns from the Academy.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. I didn't know about this.
So it's like,
again, I stay out of the news and politics and shit like that.
Yeah, sure. No, I feel
stay out of all
But it's
shit.
like, so first initially, when Chris initially makes the joke, first he's laughing. You see him laughing.
Yeah.
You see Will laughing at the joke.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like a switch flip, where then all of a sudden he's like, okay, this is not cool.
Yeah.
And then he physically gets up and slaps him, and then he's screaming in anger. I genuinely believe that was genuine anger.
Yeah,
and then he gets back up on stage after winning his award, and he's crying.
Yeah.
And then after that, he out of the blue, he's just like, he withdraws from the. So I think Will, and this kind of, to circle it back to like, kind of looking at it again after the weekend I just had, where I'm just like, where I feel like I've been very erratic, just emotionally, and then just seeing that, and I'm just like, shit, is this dude like okay? Like, is anyone doing like a check-in with this guy? Because like, that's a lot of mood swings. Like
and
very
just, adjust back into normal life.
Very violent mood swings.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, dude, I get that, because I go through that too. So my stance has changed on it, where I'm just like, oh, it's whatever. Originally, I was just like, it's whatever. It's just like people are blown out of boot. Or I specifically made the point of like, this was a culture shock for white people, because they don't understand the whole talk shit, get hit, street code thing.
Sure.
But now my stance on it has changed, because I'm just like, okay, I feel like there's something deeper going on that I think nobody really knows. That even goes beyond the whole like Will being clowned on for like a solid year and a half because of like the relationship because of the red table talk and his relationship with Jada now, and the whole open marriage, open relationship thing.
Whatever.
That most likely is, when in doubt, taking a toll on him.
Yeah,
because it seems like out of the two parties, he's the one suffering the most. It looks like.
This is true.
So yeah, so that's. I mean, I don't know if I want to get any deeper into that, just because like I feel like I've spoken on it enough with a bunch of different people, but it's like, 222. There you go. Yeah. So my stance on this changed. Where initially I was just like, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now where I'm just like, I'm generally kind of.
You can actually resonate and feel with it.
I can resonate with it, and also I'm just like, mental health is a big thing, and for me, God, especially for me.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm looking at it again, and I'm just like, you know, maybe I should be a bit more cognizant of that, or maybe be a bit more what's the word? I guess aware of that, because I mean I was totally here for the memes, and I still am. But
some pretty dang memes.
I think looking back on it now, or at least like right now, I'm just like, yeah, I think there's something there.
I think so.
And hopefully it's like, and also, and it's like, you don't know if these two, Will and Chris, have like had a history, like had a beef that's been kind of brewing, you know, shits that's been brewing under the surface, and then it's just comes to light this one night. So yeah.
We don't necessarily know what's going on behind closed doors.
I'm a bit more sensitive to this now versus me just like cracking jokes about the shit, or just having like my like slightly toxic take on the situation. Yeah, so
sometimes it takes a little bit of connection and resonance.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to like the initial how we started this pod today, of just like connecting and just like being understanding and just empathizing
to everybody and all their mistakes and all their downfalls.
Right.
Not necessarily downfalls isn't a bad thing, but like
all
their mistakes and misgivings and all this stuff. We're at the end of the day, we're all human, and we act like we're fucking gods, and it's not how it's supposed to be.
Right. Yeah.
Like I feel for the dude. I'm like,
no, I feel for the guy now. After
like, yeah, you.
I even feel for feel for Jada too. Fuck
every
it.
day, man.
Yeah, it's just like even though I still stand by the fact that like her behavior is at the very least extremely questionable, and at the very most just bad.
Sure.
Like I just think her behavior and how she kind of has been on public display for like, you know, round table to like the August Alsina shit. That to me is not okay, and like I will not defend that.
That's fair.
But I do understand where it's just like somebody makes light of like a thing that you have, and then because like we've all been there.
Yeah, dude.
So it's like
we all have our little soft spots.
I get that. So I'm not mad at her for like, you know, being like, hey, that wasn't like that
wasn't cool.
Yeah. She's fully within her right to be like, yeah, that wasn't funny.
Yeah, totally.
So, you know,
but
and you know, not to, and again, like to also kind of be like, I just the way I'm looking at it now is like I don't believe any party was wrong. I just think the circumstances of how things became, it was just a perfect storm, in my opinion.
To just like the act itself was just very violent and quick. Do you want to continue? Would you like to continue?
I was just gonna say that I don't think Chris or Will were in the wrong, in my opinion. I just think it was just a perfect cocktail, a perfect storm of just like this is what happens.
Literally,
this is what happens when two humans.
Who are on like kind of an upper echelon.
Who are on like a really upper echelon and have like thousands of eyes on them
all the time. And that's a stressful situation.
And so
kind of go after each other.
That's my thing on it.
Or how we go after them more of when
when
a very human thing happens.
And I still stand by the whole like humanizing the situation too.
That's probably where I'm going to lay my hat on that. Because
people be like, it's entertainment, it's blah blah. Who cares? Who cares? But I'm like, no. It's like, yeah, I get it. These people are famous. They have a level of power. They have a level of fame, a level of wealth. I get that. They're up here. We're down here. That still doesn't change the fact that like.
On the human level.
We're right here. And it's like, I think to completely ignore the human aspect of this, in my opinion, is kind of cruel. Just because, like, I still stand by that Will lost his composure. I don't think it was an act.
And that's pretty much all that happened. Like he just lost it for like a second. All of a sudden, his entire life just...
And that's something we all do.
Yeah.
We all lose our composure from time to time. We all can't be just like...
We can't be Superman all the time, man.
No,
you know?
So...
Sometimes Superman is happy to be Clark Kent. Fucking hanging out, eating bread and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah,
totally
what's your
What's my hot take?
What's your take on it?
I think that my hot take. Hold on, I just want to check.
Yeah.
We got 50 minutes. That's actually a pretty good fucking episode.
Yeah.
My hot take is where you ended, man. My hot take is like it was a human moment, you know. And if the cameras weren't on, if this was just a show, like imagine if this was like a Chuck's event or some shit like that.
If this happened at Electron.
If this happened to fucking Electron, like DJ homie said some shit, like hey blah 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 blah, and then someone walked up and slapped him. They would like. Psh, how do you think that would have interacted? I think, like, one, homie would have probably got kicked out or something like that. Yeah. Or we would have stopped the entire thing and then... Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, like, imagine it happening anywhere else. Imagine it happening in your home. Like, but not in, like, that way.
The biggest thing I was saying to people was, like, has no one ever been to a bar or, like, a house party where stuff like that just happens?
Talk some shit.
Sometimes that just happens.
And everybody's like, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Sometimes that just happens, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
It just happened to happen on a level where...
On a higher level than that.
Everyone could see it. Yeah. And that's it, you know? Yeah. That's kind of where I rest my hat, man. Yeah, it was this, yeah, it was that, but I'm like, it happens.
It happens.
Try to have some compassion for a person, you know? He's going through it, man.
Yeah.
Going through it. But yeah. I don't know. As much as it, like, I made a Snapchat, not an Instagram story about how I would have done it, and it was kind of in jest, but like... Yeah, like, he could have walked up, calm and composed, same way, omitted the slap, just put a firm hand on his shoulder and whispered in the motherfucker's ear and just said, like, not the motherfucker, because Chris Rock is actually really funny, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whispered in the dude's ear, just like, hey, dude, that wasn't cool. Can you please, like, just say I'm sorry? And then, like, I for 2 seconds, let me have this, but, like, Imagine a world, or imagine an alternate reality where Will Smith was able to hold on to his fire a little bit longer and just fucking go up, walk up the stairs, break all of the fourth walls and rules and all that shit, and just went like this, and just went like, hey, you better keep my wife's name at your fucking mouth, or else I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Give him a warning or some shit like that. And he goes, you know, does the whole thing. I saw this, and it was my favorite move, where he was like this or whatever. His walk back was my favorite part.
His walk back was my
favorite part.
His walk back game was on point.
Loved it. The entire thing. I could omit the slap, but the walk back is how you fucking do it.
I loved it.
Anyway, but yeah. Imagine an alternate universe where, to quote fucking maybe Jesus, but... to turn the other cheek for a hot second. Just be like, hey, man.
Maybe Jesus.
But, like, to turn the other cheek for a hot second. Give the man a chance to, you know, say I'm sorry before he goes and enacts some, you know, street justice on his ass. But, like,
it's like, no.
At least that's where because I'm more of a pacifist when it comes to shit. So I'm like, I would give you 1,002,002 chances before I ever try to put my hands on you.
I was going to say, too, it's just like, it's funny seeing how people... talk about it because everyone loves to play the
how I would have done it.
Yeah, the Monday night was it the
I have no idea.
I probably butchered it, but it was like
Monday Night Raw.
No, Monday night quarterback or announcer, where it's just like, oh, I should have done this. It's like, no.
Well, yeah.
In the moment, it's like you would have reacted very differently. It's just
and I completely agree, and I can completely acknowledge that, but. Yeah, because, like, I imagine, like, your arm gets chopped off. Is your first instinct going to be, like, okay, so we're going to calmly assess the situation? Like, no, your first instinct is going to be to scream, cry, and then, like, try to do this. Like, oh, my God. Like, you're going to panic in the initial. And it's, like, it's not going to turn out the way you want it to, but for next time.
Well, I think your body would initially... would initially go into shock. Well, so yeah. Most likely pass out.
You get the metaphor.
I get it.
You get the metaphor.
Yeah.
Yes, that. I think that... At the end of the day, we all make rash decisions, and we're all just fucking human, trying our goddamn best to be composed and compassionate to other humans. And sometimes we slip, and it happens, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes we slip, and it just fucking happens. And that's it.
I'm gonna stand on it. Stance.
No, I can acknowledge that and completely agree with you in many different lights, but, you know, I'm just like, dude.
And like I said, I completely resonate, and I completely get the whole guy code and street code, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I think just, like, to kind of remove that for a second, and look at it from
human perspective,
humanized perspective. I think I'm more just gonna rock with that.
No, you're so good, man.
But like I said, that's where my stance has shifted.
That's at least where I stand as well.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we can still have this conversation regardless of what the fuck we talk about. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I'm also happy I was able to circle it back to like the original.
Yep.
The original thing. Yep. We always do.
I think that's our
superpower.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You can somehow circle it back.
The fullest fucking circle. And it's just
like that
bink.
ring light.
Yep, literally like and bink and we got it. But yeah. And all of this, like, and so what's your thought of my idea of Edward Cullen in the corner? Because that's kind of technically where this tangential thing kind of came from.
Edward Cullen in the corner.
Recording yourself sleeping for 8 hours and posting it for art.
Do it, whatever, go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Why not? Yeah.
I might.
You can record me tonight sleeping.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, go for it. You have my full consent.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
As long as like we make that OnlyFans page and we just like
that could actually be our OnlyFans page. Real
or
talk, man.
Or a
Real talk, or a Patreon.
Or a Patreon.
You want a video of us sleeping, like literally just like this and snoring and shit.
Yeah, just like
yeah, we could make that happen. If anything, give us fucking ideas for what you guys would want for a Patreon, so we can actually get paid off this shit.
Yeah, Devin, give us ideas of what you want for a Patreon.
Literally,
or OnlyFans if you're into that.
You know, we can have a poll going on. Which one we're gonna fucking do, Patreon or OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Anyway, and that's the fullest circle.
That is the fullest circle.
It's a big circle and then a small circle. Yeah.
Big circle. All right.
Anyway, I think that's about time.
You want to close it?
Oh, we definitely can.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you
so
for
much. Listening. Yep, we fucking appreciate it. We appreciate you.
Guys.
We're getting consistent fucking views as well.
Yeah.
We're getting some consistent fucking views.
We appreciate you guys for real. Yeah. We love you guys.
We hope that this conversation can help enlighten or at least help entertain for a little bit.
I think to also end it off and to really circle back. I hope that me speaking on all that, like what I spoke about earlier, I hope that resonates with somebody because I know there's somebody who out there
my ass, man.
who feels the same way I do. So it's just like it's just like you're not alone in that. And
literally, man. At the end of the day,
if you want to connect, hit me up.
At the end of the day, sometimes it takes a second just to open up for a second and just let it onto someone for a second, see how they react. And if not, then you just pull it back. But that's it. All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you,
guys. Catch you later.
Deuces.